So recently in Ghana, they had the Black Star Line Festival. Many people poured in, tens of thousands of people poured in the iconic Black Star Square of Independence. Now, the event, took place in the heart of the Ghanaian capital, Accra, which the event was founded by a Chicago-born, I didn't even know he was Ghanaian, Vic Mensa, and Chance the Rapper, and featured a host of A-list acts from both sides of the Atlantic, saying the bid to unite the country and the diaspora. The international stars included Erykah Badu, T-Pain, Chance the Rapper. They say it was joined by Ghanaian legends, Sarkodie, Manifest, and the Soccer Boys at the festival to mark the event, which has also seen a week-long series of events and panels. Now, this video is really not so much about the festival itself, and many people had went to it. I've seen Dave Chappelle, he had went to that festival as well. But my main thing is that every time you have a big influx of Black Americans going to the African continent, it's always worldwide news. This, what caught my attention actually was in the BBC, right, out of the UK. You looked at places like the LA Times have covered, like say when they had the year of return, New York Times, all these major publications are covering when Black people are moving around to the African continent. And I always told y'all is that they watch every movement that Black people have. They are highly concerned about big, influxes of Black Americans going to the African continent. Why is that? Black Americans serve as an economic base for every community outside of our own, for the most part. Black people spend $1 trillion a year and a little more than that as the time go along. And the majority of the money goes to everybody else's community except the Black community. We know that the Black money stays in the community only 6 hours before it leaves out of the community. It's going to everybody else's community, right? So when Black America, or a good amount of Black Americans, starts going to the African continent, how they think is, wait a minute, that means the money is going with them. And the money they're spending over there, they can't spend over here. You understand? See, white supremacy in one instance will tell you, I can't stand you. We have anti-Black racism. We're going to treat you horribly. But I really don't want you to go at the same time. I want you to stay here. I don't want none of your money or anything else going to other places. Understand? So notice that when Black folks, you remember they used to always tell Black folks, well, if you don't like America, go back to Africa. Do you notice they don't tell us to go back to Africa anymore? You notice that? Was when we start going to the African continent on our own, notice they don't use that as a try to dish you no more until you go back to Africa. Because when you finally go, you say, wait a minute, man, this is nice. I ain't got to deal with no Karens. I ain't got to deal with no race soldiers. I ain't got to deal with nobody following me in the freaking store. The majority of people look like me. So I, hey, man, that's how white people feel in America. They just feel normal. That's how Black people feel every time they go to the African continent. And then what also is concerning white supremacy is you have all these Black celebrities going over there. Now, the concern for them is this. They know in Black American culture, a lot of Black people, unfortunately, follow celebrities. So if they start seeing Dave Chappelle, they start seeing Chance the Rapper, they start seeing all these Black artists going to the African continent, they'll say, well, man, you know what? I want to go. I want to see what they go and see so much over there, right? That's what they're so concerned about. And then when enough of you go, think about it. If even 20 to 30% of the Black American population actually was going to the African continent constantly, setting up businesses, some people may eventually, buy a place. You may get you a condo, may get you a house, etc. That's concerning because now you're not spending money in their predatory system anymore where you never own anything. Because in this country, you really don't own anything. Even if you buy a house today, cash money, the land it's sitting on, you still got to pay taxes. Do you know in the African continent, you buy a home with the land, you don't pay no taxes on that stuff like that for the most part? You don't. If you pay for it, it's yours. You know, why is it that in this country we get land and we got to be paying taxes on it constantly, even though it's our land, we own it. You understand what I'm saying? This is the things that they don't want y'all to see. And there is a coming exodus out of this place to places like the African continent. Now, it's not going to be for everybody, but there are some people that's going to do that. And they're concerned about that. And their concern is, wait a minute, the people who got a lot of money to spend is the ones that are going to go first, right? And they want to keep that money here. Don't you sit up here and think that nobody want to us just to be gone like that. That's why they love when black folks have this attitude like, I can't stand no Africa. I don't like them. They love to hear you say that, because when they hear you saying that, they say, oh, good. We got them, because their money's staying right here. They love when people say, oh, well, you know, I've heard this before. And you know, I think the person that got my attention with this was Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. And they talked about the year of return, right? Now, how many festivals have been done right here in America? That's no different than that. It's a finesse to have a year of return, but it's not a finesse to have an Essence Festival. It's the same. It's the same thing. I'm just saying, traveling. Let's say you got to travel to New Orleans. You're spending money at the hotels, and you spend all this money and doing everything in New Orleans, and the money's going to go mostly to who? White people, right? That's who it's going to go to. It's not going to go to the black community. I understand if it went all to the black community, black venues, black caterers, everything black. I would get that. I would be with you 2,000%. But that's not happening like that, right? It's not happening at all. So how is it a finesse? Anytime it's, you know, just with something black, it got to be an issue and a problem. I mean, you chose to buy the ticket to go to the year of return at that time. You chose to stay in the hotel. You chose to do whatever you think. How is it a finesse when you chose that? I don't get that. So for me, if you feel like, and I think it's crazy, for me, it's crazy to even, when I hear black people say this in America, I don't want to go no Africa. I'm like, I never hear white people talk about Europe like that. I never hear Asians talking about Asian countries like that. I never hear Arabs talking about Arab countries like that. You think those countries don't have problems? Hell yeah, they got problems. Ain't none of those countries perfect. A lot of these people live right here, right? But the thing is that these folks, and that's why I look at white supremacy. White supremacy want to keep black America here, and they don't want them going anywhere. They don't, because they need your money. They want to suck the life out of you. They want to suck your creativity out. They want to suck everything. They want you to work till you're dead, like the Jamaican sister said. You understand what I'm saying? They want you in this system, providing them money. Look all the billions of dollars these black men provide these sports organizations and all of that. What if those black men took their talents and created their own football leagues in the African continent? The same football league they're playing here, but they created it themselves. And they don't need much money to do it. That would take billions of dollars away from these folks, and they'll have it themselves. You understand what I'm saying? I don't, like I say, for me, I don't understand a lot of these, especially these brothers that got money or sisters that got money. I don't get it, because you can create the exact same thing. If you're in the music industry, you can go create your own labels and everything over there, and you ain't got to deal with certain people, you know, controlling and owning things, right? You can go do it somewhere else. It's not like your money can't get you, your records couldn't be sold in America or something. You got distribution now with all the different, you know, platforms and streaming and everything else. You could tour. You don't need no label in America to do nothing for you when you can go create your own outside this country. That's the only thing that I'm saying. These people, white supremacy is concerned about the movements of black America. They are concerned. They're even concerned about the movements of black people in the UK as well. They're concerned about that because they know how much money they make off of us. So when you walk around, when you say, you know, that you basically just anchored here and you're not going to do nothing else, that's like an investor saying, I'm spending all my money in one stock, and I'm not going. No investor put all their eggs in one basket. They diversify their portfolio. Let's say I'm investing in the many stocks. I'm investing in the many ETFs and anything else. I got real estate. I'm investing in the many real estate properties. I'm gonna buy many. I'm not gonna just buy one. And because if something happens to that one, then what happens at that point is you're done. And that's the problem with us. We need to have options. When you just stuck in here and not doing anything but just worrying about here, you're at the mercy of what they do here. When you open yourself up to become global, and if you want to say whether it's the African continent, whether it's the Caribbean, or anywhere else that let's say black ran nations, at least what I tell black people, you give yourself an option. That's all. Because these people never will appreciate you. You need, like I said, we always talk about rebuilding and building and building. And every time we try to build something, it's sabotage. Let's go back to talk about the Bruce's Beach situation. That whole situation was sabotage from the beginning. They gave him the land back, okay, but they throw all the taxes at them. They throw all kind of things at them, right? They're going to have to worry about. They couldn't develop the land unless they got permission. It was so many different things they done to them to sabotage them, to get them basically to give them the land back for nothing. Because $20 million was nothing. That's the sabotage I'm talking about that happens in America. They sabotage black folk. Sabotage us every way, shape, form, or fashion. Let's say they get the $20 million and they say, you know what? Okay, I'm going to take that $20 million. I'm going to go to, African country. I'm going to buy some real estate on the coast. I'm going to rebuild what my ancestors already had. I'm going to build it over there. And that 20 million could do that. Shoot, man, they ain't got to spend those 20 million to even do it. Right? I'm going to build a resort. I'm going to build this. I'm going to build it with this 20 million and don't even have to worry about even being sabotaged like they've been sabotaged here in America. Because they'll straight sabotage actually how all that mess happened. You understand? Just as I see and as I travel and I understand white supremacy wants to hold us here. White supremacy wants us bound because as long as we stay in white supremacy, we are bound to their system. We are caught up and they just suck the life, our finances and everything out. This is what they do. Now, if that's your lot in life and you want to do that, do you? I'm not telling you anything. Do you? But I'm talking about to black people who understand what I'm talking about, who understand and wait a minute, I need options. White supremacy is concerned my money is black American money is moving around. That is a sign. I told you, don't pay attention to what people agree with saying. Pay attention to what your enemy is saying. Your enemy is saying, hey, wait a minute, these black folks moving around again. What's going on? We gotta, this can't be the norm. Because no matter what we do in America, we are sabotage. No matter how educated you are, no matter how hardworking you are sabotaged because this system has anti-black racism. I always say that it's good to have options, to have a second address, to have your passport. Because if you don't have a passport as a black person, what are you doing? It's only $100. And pay the expedited fee to get it faster so you can start traveling in the world. Because white supremacy is worried about you moving around. And I know not all black folks going to move around like that, unfortunately. That's a big unfortunate. But for the black folks who see what's going on, who see what the writing on the wall, even here, start making you a connection, or somewhere else. If it's not Africa, go to the Caribbean. Do that. Have some sort of connection. Because we got to have options as black people because everything that go down in this country, we're the one that's suffering the most. Because I know a lot of black people told me, I get reparations, I'm out. I'm going to build me a house over there and I ain't coming back. And that's another reason why they don't want to give reparations because they know you're going to be gone. And that's the one thing they're afraid of is black folks getting away from their silly behind. Let these other groups go work till they dead. We done enough. But let me know what y'all think about, the BBC is up here just focusing on black folks movements. Like I say, you should focus on it because we're not going to be held to with y'all forever. Well, we gotta have our own exodus away from you.